So my screen is visible. I've started the recording. So I hope just okay. So it is recorded. The session is recorded. Thanks for reminding that. And okay, so let's get started with our training session. So this is the APM automation training, so or we call it as a mobile automation as well. So anyway, you can check it up. So it's like basically the mobile automation to be more generic. So mobile automation training sessions. And so myself Aravind, so I'll be your trainer. So I'll be walking you through all the training sessions for this training session. So let me go to the next slide and explain about myself. So what is my experience and stuff. So currently I am having around like 13 plus years of experience, and I worked with the different companies and different frameworks lately for this 13 years. So I've been with associated with Cucumber, JUnit, Java, C Sharp, SpecFlow, Cypress, Playwright. So I've been working around with all these frameworks and for along these 13 years, and I worked with a lot of clients actually. So I worked in Verizon, Standard Chartered, Emirates NBD, and Binance. That's my current company. So I've been doing this training sessions online and offline for around like 8 years. So that's my training experience. So online, like I've been do during COVID period I started it, and before that it was mostly an offline training. So that's about myself, and I again welcome you all to our session, actually mobile automation session with APM. So just a quick thing actually. So there is a lot of folks over here. So maybe just let's take a minute. Let me understand you, like who you are and what you're dealing with. Like say for example, maybe name I can just check it up from your go-to meeting, but can I have your years of experience and what are you working on? So which will be really helpful for me to take it forward the session. Okay, so let's have some quick 60 seconds. You can ping it in the chat. That will be really helpful. So the 60 seconds starts now. Yep. Please go ahead, type it in the chat, like your years of experience and what are you working into it. Okay, so let me see the chat. Okay, yep. Okay, yep. Thanks, Chandra, for replying back. Okay, thank you, Seturaman. Thank you, Om Prakash. Thanks, Funny. Okay, so you have an Android iOS web application, web app testing. So, okay, that's great actually. Okay, Shraddha. Okay, thanks, Shraddha, for your input. Okay, thanks, Kishore. Thanks, Manjula. Yep. Yep, our 1 minute has done, so let's proceed it up. So, okay, so just a question to people who are already working in APM. So, what is your expectation and what is it actually to come to this session actually? Because I'm just curious to know since you are already working. So, I want to know, like, say, what is your expectation or what is your expectation out of this session? Maybe you can type it or you
This
can,
is
yes, please go ahead.
Seturaman, and I'm having around 3 plus years of experience in mobile as well as web. automation.
Okay. Okay.
But when I'm working with the mobile automation, I'm facing few issues like for scroll and all those things. But I didn't get
Uh,
any proper training sessions or something before entering into this mobile automation. Somehow I started and explored
okay.
with the internet. So I just want to clarify a few items. Let's say in my company, if somebody asked me to put a framework and those things, right?
Mhm.
So it all happened, but as days pass on, I felt like a few things needs to be restructured. So these
Okay.
kind of things should be done in the initial stage, right?
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
so that's why I wanted to do a few clarifications on scroll and few other things. That's why I joined.
Yeah, got your point. Yeah, actually, that's a good effort from your side, actually, starting from the scratch and learning it up. So, really appreciate it. And yeah, definitely, like you will gain the knowledge from this session. Yeah, for sure. So, we have a couple of gestures, navigations, and stuffs which we'll be focusing on in the upcoming sessions. So, definitely, it will not disappoint you. I hope so. Yeah. So, thanks for that. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate your efforts of learning by yourself. Yeah, that's really needs a lot of motivation. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Muskan. Thanks, Madhu. Yeah. Okay. So thanks, Seth Raman, for that. And yep. So let's move it on. So yeah. So one more question, like say maybe to Fani Kumar actually. So if I pronounce it wrongly, sorry about that. And you've been working on Android iOS web app testing. Okay. So what is there any specific reason like because iOS is really a costly affair. So even the phones are costly and app testing is also little expensive. So what is your
No,
motive actually? Yeah.
actually, I have been in this group since some
Uh,
time. So I thought like
ah,
before, sure, let me upgrade some automation skill set as well. So recently, I have
ah,
undergone for testing as well. So I thought of upgrading my skill set. After going there, I don't know on which platform I'll be getting job.
okay,
Value
okay,
ask
okay, 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 okay. Yep, got it,
to
got it,
some.
got it. Yes. Yeah, thanks for that, Funny. Yeah. Yeah, I hope we have a wide variety of people available in our session today. So yeah, it's great to hear from you all and thanks again for your input. And let's get moved on actually. So just after the introduction, so what is mobile automation? So basically, so as most of you people are like say you already or you're new to mobile automation, so just a quick introduction actually. So when you say mobile automation, basically it means like the application that you're going to test with a physical device or with a simulator or with the emulator. Okay, so there might be like a few technical terms like simulator and emulator which most of you might be aware or few of you may not be aware, so which will be again seeing it actually. So the simple concept is like say when we have a mobile automation, it's nothing but testing your application. So that means like say application on a device. So the device can be of any device. It can be an Android, it can be an iOS, or it can be a tablet, or it can be any custom devices from any industry. So most probably usually I worked in a company called Trimble, so wherein they had like their own device built in with an Android platform, and they started to test few applications on that. So sometimes these applications also we can test it with Appium, and that is what all about actually when you say mobile automation. So you're going to do something on a device which has an application on it. For example, when I say application, if you are holding an iOS and an Android device, any device, you can see something. There is a calculator app, there is a WhatsApp app, and Facebook app. Yep, sorry about it, had a bad throat. Yeah, so you might have like any device, but you have application inside it. For example, a calculator or a Google Map or a WhatsApp, or also you can say a Gmail or Chrome, anything. So everything inside a device, we call it as an app. Okay, and nowadays, even if you see, if you're holding a Windows machine or a Mac machine, sometimes you can install also the application on Windows or Mac machines. So that also we call it as an app, but it's not on a device. It's on a different platform like Windows system, and then and then an iOS or a Mac device. So that's not an app. It's an app with respect to the platform. But what is an app is like, say, something when you go to a Google Play Store. For example, Google Play Store. Okay, for example, just I'm traversing it over here. So here we have some apps available. Like, say this is a gaming app actually, but let's go to something like a productive app. For example, maybe something like quick thing that I can remember is like, say, kind of a color note. Okay, so this is again an app. Okay, so this is going to be installed on your Android device, and it's specific to Android device, and you can use this one. And what are the functions it can do? So we are going to test it on that. And if you say, like, say, App Store, like, say, for example, App Store. So App Store is existing for your iOS device. Okay, so you see already we have a lot of applications available. Okay, for example, okay, where can I search for it? So let me search for the Notes app. Okay, so this is a Notes app available where I can install it. I can write some notes and other things. So this is going to be specific towards your iOS. So every device, like, say, initially in the, like, say, 2 3 years or almost like 5 years back, so there are, like, say, two platforms majorly people used. One is your Android platform, another one is your iOS platform. So each platform has a different stores available, which we call Google Play Store, and we have an App Store as well. And most probably leave India, but when you come, like, say, if you are going to outside India, like, there is one more OS which is available, which we call it as Huawei. So that is a device which is usually banned in India, but if it is still applicable, then you can use this Huawei app gallery as well. Okay, so these are the three things currently available in an industry which people are using it, and they can download any application from inside this Play Store or App Store or Huawei app gallery, and then they can do their own customized stuff. Okay, and our responsibility as a mobile automation tester is nothing but to automate this particular app and in our application or in our project. Okay, so this is what technically we call it as an app. So app is nothing but it's an application wherein you're going to do something and it's going to be responding you with something. So that's what it is widely categorized into three applications mainly, which we call it as a native application, web application, and hybrid application. Okay, so previously, like, say, around like 5 years or 10 years back, so the web application and hybrid application, like, say, was, like, say, very well used or very well established inside the industry. So everyone thought, like, say, let's create a web application so that it works on your Chrome browser, it works on the device which holds a Chrome browser. And a hybrid application is nothing but it's like a combination of an application. Inside that I can have a Chrome or any browser support for that. So these were, like, say, very well received by audiences or very well received by people around the world. But later on, it had its own glitches and own security issues, and that's the reason they went for something called your native applications. Okay, so native applications is nothing but it has its own environment in which it will be working on. It cannot be worked upon different environments. For example, if I download an application from Play Store, that means if I download this color note, it can work only with your Android device. and if I download your iOS notes, it can only work with your iOS. I cannot mix and match these items basically. So that's the reason, like say, we call these items as your native application. That means native to the region in which it is going to be working on, or native to the environment in which it will be working on. So to see the in-depth details about like what is native application, web and hybrid, so let's go to our next slide. So as you can see it, so your native application is nothing but apps that are written specifically for a platform such as Android or iOS. An Android native app cannot run on an iPhone and then vice versa. So that means here there is no web application, there is no such thing as a Chrome interference or anything. So everything is built with respect to the environment in which it is going to be applicable for. So environment in which it's going to be applicable for is nothing but it's either an Android or an iOS. And then we have something called a web application. So this is a very quite interesting application, I would tell. Why? Because like it works on a Windows browser, and the same application works on your Chrome browser inside your device as well. So it is nothing but one application which opens on your Chrome browser in your Android, Safari browser inside your iOS, and maybe a Harmony browser inside your Huawei app gallery. And also it works, the same application will be working with your web Chrome browsers, okay, or a Safari or a Firefox inside your laptop or a desktop. So these items only basically we call it as your web application. And mostly web applications are like say they have a quite or like say they were very well received. So they were built upon something like mean stack. So the technology stack includes like say a mean stack, Ruby on Rails, or all those things. So those were like say again well received, because if you don't want to download it from App Store or Play Store, then this was the only identification or only way in which an application can be accessed from anywhere on any device with respect to the browsers. Okay, only browsers. That means I open a Chrome and then I run it up and it works. Simple as it is. Okay, and then only comes the quite famous one nowadays, like say people are hesitant to use, which is nothing but your hybrid application. So hybrid applications are nothing but basically they are built upon HTML5 and JavaScript, and they are built on top of your native application. So that means like say your hybrid application is something like a crossover between your native application and your web application. And technically it was a very good application till the security issues came into the picture, where most of the people have stopped to use your hybrid application, and for better experience and security they move towards your native application. So this is the areas or this is the way in which our apps were being developed and deployed for us to be used. So any doubts here so far till now? Okay.
Can you give some example for the hybrid application?
Web
How
applications, you
this
mean?
will work for, yeah, hybrid applications?
Hybrid. Okay. So let me go. Okay, let me quickly open your. Uh, so I'll come to this part of the later Android Studio. So just to show you how does it work. So I'll be connecting my device. Okay. So let me connect it. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is an Android Studio. I'll tell you all these setups and stuffs in the upcoming sessions. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a pretty easy one, not that much tough. Just give me a moment. Okay, is my voice audible? Just I reconnected the mic to connect my device. Just let me know whether.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, so I have my real device connected. So currently I'm connecting my, what to say, Android device. So let me see it up. Okay. Okay. So here is my running device. So if you want to have an example, I hope my device is visible. So if you want to see how does a native application will work is like, so I can give you an example. Like this is one of my the banking application ENBDX. So this is a native application. So wherein it doesn't have anything or it doesn't need to go outside the application in order to get anything. But some applications like say, let me see. Where is it? Swag, SWAG. Okay. Swag is not there. So let me drag and drop it quickly. Just give me a moment. Documents. Yeah. Oopsie. No. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Okay. No problem. Okay, it's installed. And let me also have one more item. Android app APK. Let me install it. Yeah. So if you see it, I have a Swag mobile actually. So this is a Sauce Lab based app where you can make some purchases. So it has some username and password. So if you scroll down, it's available over here. So let me quickly log in. Standard underscore user. So I'll share you all these app links actually. So we have it in our Git repo. Okay, so now you can see this is an application. So it more or less looks like an Android application, but when you go over here, so there is something like say a web view content available. So this thing like say even if it is within the app, like say if you see https colon double slash www.google.com, if you press go to the website, you can see it goes to the website, but again within the app. So this is what basically we call it as your native application. But if it is traversing outside your application, then basically we call it as your hybrid application. And web app is nothing but you have your Chrome browser, you tap on your Chrome browser, and you can open any browser. For example, for you can have www.atlantis.com. Okay, so if you click over here, so this is basically a web application. Okay, because this works on this device in my laptop. But when you see the same application www.atlantis.com inside my Chrome browser, if I want to see it, www.atlantis.com, so you can see your visual experience as a different one. So between your Android and your browser. So this is what we call it as a web apps. So that means like say web apps is nothing but in whichever device it's going to be used, it will be transforming its like say uh, its web application to the respective environment. So that is the web applications usage. Okay, so any doubts here so far till now? Was it clarified?
Yeah, a small follow-up question.
Hmm.
So let's say for few microservices alone, it is taking to the web as you shown. So
Hmm.
how we can call this kind of applications?
This kind of applications inside your mobile application, you mean?
Yeah, let's consider Google Pay. Okay,
Hmm.
so inside that we can see many microservices. So
Okay.
when we tap on few items, it is taking to somewhere else, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
how we can call this application?
Okay. So let me check the Google Pay. I have not checked it lately, how it works. So let me quickly check it. So I don't have in my Android device, but I have it in my another device. Okay. So you mean the API means like say you're paying your bills and other stuffs, or
Yes. So
or or there is another way as well. So if you open your Vodafone app, so you click the pay and it transfers to the Google Pay. Is it like that?
that is kind of integrations, right? Payment
Yes,
integrations.
yes,
I'm
yes.
not asking such things. Like
Hmm.
let's say in an super app, it will have multiple applications like microservices, right?
Hmm.
Few applications will stay within the app, but few of the microservices, when we tap, it will take to browser or something, right? So how we can call
Okay,
this?
okay, got your point. Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I got your point. So this one, like say specifically, just to differentiate it and show you, like say, what is it? What we have seen just now with the Swag Lab. So this is nothing but a web view. So that means it's a native app. It doesn't go beyond that. And they call this particular setup as something called a web view. So that means a view, a web view inside a native application. So this is one type of thing. But the same thing that now you are checking is like say, so if I press something, it goes to your Google Chrome or Firefox or whichever the browser you have configured for. So for those type of things, so basically what we will do it is like we'll have a Chrome browser integrated, and whatever is the URL, we don't tap it. But instead what we do it is like we take the URL, we open it inside a Chrome browser in your device. So that way we can handle it up. Okay.
So this will also comes under native application
Yes, native application,
or
because
hybrid.
it comes under native application. Why? Because you have a URL
Okay.
which is going to be open in a different application, and then it works. But like say, but a hybrid application, how it looks like is like, so it has like say a web page itself integrated inside the application. So maybe sometimes like say if you have went into like any banking applications, so it will have a complete web page itself inside a native application. So that we call it as a hybrid application. So wherein the native application, like say, I think quite recently, I think if you've seen like terms and condition inside ICICI Bank, let me check. I don't have it up. Yeah. So if I go to App Store,
Yeah, yeah.
terms and conditions page, right? So
Yes, yes, I
that's
saw.
basically a hybrid application because it has a web page which has the terms and conditions. Either you can accept it or reject it, and based on that, it traverses back to your native application. So these things we can handle it similar to that of your web view. Okay, so we have a context called web view. So based on that, we'll be handling it up.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Thanks for the
so
clarity.
yeah, no issues. Okay, so these are about the three different applications actually. So we'll be now, a lot of people are mostly inclined towards a native application because there is a lot of competition. Which application is good? So basically, and good and faster, I would say. because like say Android versus iOS, so that's the major competition running around. So who is migrating towards Android, who is going towards iOS? So that's the base for your native application. So one which has been developed purely for Android, it's Android native application. One which has been purely developed for iOS, we call it as a iOS native application. And inside that, they can also be a web view, as we just saw now with the Swag application. Okay, so these are the different segregations. Okay, so which one to choose? Okay, so basically, so that depends upon the business requirement, and the business requirement depends upon these four criterias: the performance need, the desired features, the development time, and the budget constraints. So usually a native application is easier to develop, because like if you see the technological stack, the native application for Android looks like something like with Android Studio and with Java or Kotlin as a programming language. When it comes to iOS side, it's going to be like say it's like say we call it as a XCUI test, XCUI. Okay, so basically that's a development environment in which you can develop an iOS based application with either Swift or Flutter. Two programming languages are available. So just to note it down, so just to Android, so I'm speaking about the native. Okay, so to have an Android, so you can have it as an Android Studio, so that's the client actually, or the IDE. So the programming language would be like say it can be either a Java or it can be a Kotlin. So it's good to understand this one. So why? Because like some people will ask in your interviews, like say what is the platform you worked in and what it was developed from, and all those things actually. So it's good to know. And your iOS. So basically we have the uh, let me take that. Let me show it to you. Since I'm holding an iOS, I can just show it to you as well. So we have something like, where is it? It's not over here. Okay, fine. Let me search it. XCUI. Okay, Xcode actually. Okay, so this is the platform in which they developed the application. So Xcode, and basically the programming language it deals with, it's basically it's a Swift, or it's going to be a Flutter. And the crossover like say with the Java and Kotlin with the Chrome browser or any web page, we call it as a hybrid application. And similarly the crossover with Swift and Flutter, basically we call it as your hybrid application with any browser. But basically nowadays there is not much of a browser involved, because thanks to the web view content, people will be able to see the same application as you see in your Chrome inside your web view as well. So that's wherein the native application has a wider audience and wider people, so that you can use it up. So it's good to know. So maybe if you want to note it down, you can note it. And these are the capabilities in which your business will decide which application to go. So most likely nowadays a lot of people move towards your native application, and they can do a lot of integrations with that. So that's the reason. Okay, so and now coming to our Appium, so mobile automation. So there are a lot of tools available in an industry to do the mobile automation. So out of which, like say, mobile automation, most preferably, a lot of people go towards your Appium. So I saw like say one more thing as well available. So when we see the tools perspective, right? So basically it's going to be we have like a lot of tools, so out of which we have something called your Appium, which stands out first, and it's an open source. So when I say open source, you don't need to pay anything, you just need to download the jar file and start off with that. So that's it. And we have currently the Appium 2.x. Okay, I'm not sure on the version, so let me check it. I think it should be around 2.9 or something like that. So that is available. So 2x version. So let me quickly check in that, and I can give you the exact version. So if any upgraded version is available, we can also use it up. Apm space double hyphen version. So I think 2.11. Yeah. 2.11.1. Okay, so 2.11, maybe I'll put an X so that it can be happening. Okay, so that is a version, and this is an open source tool. And the competitor of Appium is like, say, nowadays, like there is not much of a competition that I would see for a mobile automation tool which is open source. But basically there are other tools, like, say, we can call it as a Calabash. We can also have something like Catalan Studio. Okay, and also we have something called your test leaf product. I don't remember the name of it, so we have that one as well. Okay, so and one more item also was available which I couldn't instantly remember, but I'll tell you. Yeah, so these are all the items available, out of which, like, say, Calabash, I think, like, mostly for your native application, native iOS application, we can use it up. And Catalan Studio is nothing but it is again a derivation or a wrapper around Appium. Okay, and TestLeaf, it's a standalone enterprise product. So when I say enterprise product, that means like you need to pay and use it up. So that's one thing actually. So that's really like, say, a lot of people will not go for that. Actually, mostly, like, say, if people are from, like, say, Western countries, they try to do something like more like, say, in organized manner, they go about it. So but enterprise application, whoever has a lot of money and all those things, a budget, then they go for it. But normally they go for, like, say, open source automation tools. Okay, so this is the white category, and this makes it, like, say, Appium having more upper hand actually, so than these stuffs. Okay, and to list other a few tools which is available, but these tools are mostly, like, say, are paid tools, like, say, for example, Ranorex, and then we have, like, say, Test Complete, and then also we have, like, say, Perfecto. Yeah, that we can use it up. Yeah, Perfecto. So it's a cloud based item, so that we can use it up. Yeah, so these are the things, but mostly these are all, like, say, are paid tools. So paid tools, like, we don't use it that much in industry because it depends again on the budget and stuffs, and that's the thing. Okay, so I'll put all these things under your enterprise
Sir,
edition.
espresso tool is also there.
Espresso is there actually, but it's like open source tool. But mostly what happens in an espresso is, like, say, it needs developer code to automate the stuff. So mostly we don't consider it as an espresso because it needs a wide variety. Like, say, it's like, say, a TDD approach, I would say. Mostly it is used for a TDD approach, whereas TDD means, like, say, test data driven approach, where you write your first test cases and then test cases with the help of espresso, and based on that you develop your uh, application. So on that basis you use it, so that's why I didn't include that over here, because it's a separate concept altogether, which depends on the Android Studio. Yeah, so but thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, it's really good that you know that tool. Yeah. Okay, so this is how basically it will be working in. Okay, so now let's get back to it. So, and then the prerequisite for your Appium. So the tool that we are going to use is, like, say, the Appium, and the prerequisite would be a Java, and a Selenium will be an optional. If you don't know, no issues. So we'll again see a few commands over here, and we need to have an Android SDK, and Xcode we need to have, but Xcode is only for your iOS, and it needs a Mac. Okay, Mac device. So you cannot install it inside your Windows. Just I'm insisting on it. So Xcode cannot be installed inside your Windows, but I will show you from end to end how it works in the sessions. You can note it down. So the videos will be available. Don't worry about it. It's a simple thing only, but there is a lot of process involved in it. So that's the only thing. Okay.
Sir, can
And
we install
mhm.
Mac OS in the virtual machine on our current existing Windows operating system?
Okay, that's a good question. So actually, we cannot install it up, unfortunately, because there is no image available in Mac as far as I searched for it. Because I'm also a Windows user,
Okay.
so I didn't find
Mhm.
any Mac image available. So you can find Linux, Windows, but the thing is, like, if you have a Mac device, you can have a team viewer and you can install Windows. But again, it consumes a lot of memory, again, like say 10 to 30 GB, depending upon the usage. So yeah, so Windows, like say Mac to Windows is possible, but Windows to Mac, it's quite not possible now. Maybe in the future it might be. Yeah, yeah,
Got it, sir. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so an APM, so that's the tool that we are going to use it out. So this is the prerequisite. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so this is a prerequisite, and these are the things we require it. And if you ask, like say, I think most of you are automation people. So Java, you might be familiar, but we'll have some few basic concepts which is required. So we'll have that session as well. So don't worry about it. So mostly like some basic to intermediate level, we'll have it. And Selenium, while checking the APM itself, we'll have some Selenium commands and things. So I'll explain it to you. So that doesn't not a big impact. And now coming to the APM part, actually, just a minute. Yep, sorry for the background noise. So as again, like say APM is an open source test automation framework. So it is used for a mobile automation testing across different platforms. So platforms, when I specify, it's iOS and Android. iOS and Android. It also supports like mobile like say a mobile, sorry about that, mobile web browser automation, and has a wide variety of language support for your automation. Okay, and it, the current version I was seeing, it is like say you can have this link actually. So APM, so this is the official link. So we go by this official link. So you can check this one. Okay, let me see. APM, so it had a one particular page wherein like say, yeah, quick start. Yeah. So this is the one actually. Sorry. Uh, sorry. Yeah. 2.9 is available, so which you can use it up. And these are the things actually. So this is a quick setup, or like say, I would say a quick reference and from the official website. Okay, where you can check the version and stuff. So I would recommend you to just go through it up. So it's quite interesting one. Okay, and also like say what are the advantages of using your APM. So it's an open source tool, that's the first thing, and it supports native, hybrid, and web application, and it supports a wide variety of language like Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, and PHP. But we'll be focusing more into the Java. Okay, and it integrates seamlessly with your continuous integration tools such as Jenkins. Okay, so basically it's used to integrate and run it up, and it has a support for all your cloud environments, whether it's a AWS or an Azure, or like say most of the time now I see a lot of people are moving towards the cloud browsers and cloud devices, so which is like sauce lab, ctest, and also like say we have one more provider, famous one, yeah, lambda test and perfecto. So these are all the cloud providers for your devices. But one hard thing is like say they don't provide much of a device on a free open source, so we need to pay and use it up. There are certain devices available for free, but those are like say very old devices or something like that. But still for our practice it should be fine, so it shouldn't affect it at any point of time, so it should be fine. Okay, so and they work, so it's like say the XUI test and Espresso. So basically, as you mentioned, like say they both work with the application code, and again both are free and open source. But the thing is, like for XUI test you need the Mac actually, so instead of iOS, let me mention it as a Mac. And Espresso is for Android, so it works under Mac and Windows, both should be fine. And the one bad thing is, like say the APM, okay, doesn't work with your application code directly. That means the application in which it was developed, it doesn't interact with it directly, so it interacts with the UI front alone. So that's the thing. So when I say UI front, we can install your application in two different ways. So one is like say APK and IPA. So APK is nothing but for your Android, and IPA is nothing for your iOS. So these are nothing but application extension, okay, which we can use it up. Okay, so this is about it. And then how does your APM works? So basically, let me give you just a brief about it. In depth, we'll be seeing it actually. Uh, okay, so a brief about it would be like say, so basically APM, like say you start a code, and basically it installs the APM with the help of Node.js. Okay, so Node.js plays the major role. And why now I coming into the picture of Node.js is like say, so before 2 version, okay, that means the APM 2 version. So when you had the APM 1.x.x, you will be able to install the APM as a desktop version and as well as a command line version. Okay, both were available. But now after 2 version, that means after APM 2.x.x, so you don't have any desktop version, you have just a Node.js version. So how does an interaction happen then? Okay, so let me show it to you. How does it work? So basically your APM will send out the command to your Node.js, or it will be started with the help of Node.js. From your APM, your command goes to your that means from your code, your command goes to your APM, and your APM interacts with two things. Again, it's a technical term, I'll explain it to you. We call it as a web driver agent, and then to your iOS device. And similarly, for an Android device, it's not going to be a WebDriver agent, it's going to be a APM agent interacting with your Android. And all these communication happens with the help of something called a mobile wire JSON. Okay, mobile JSON wire protocol. So this is how a small gist how it works. So your code goes to your APM, interacts with the WebDriver agent, and interacts with the iOS. And similarly, your code goes to your APM, interacts with your APM agent, and then it interacts with your Android. So this is how the communication happens. And when I say the code, that means the code that you're going to write in order to interact or in order to connect to your APM. So that we'll discuss it actually, but on a wider perspective, this is how basically it works. So this is an in-depth thing actually, which we'll see it up. Okay, and to install your APM, so this is how the installation process goes about. So now the APM doctor, it's lightly deprecated, so you don't have to use it up. Okay, so but still it works actually. Last time when I checked, it was still working. But to install it, we need to have like say this is again only for 1.x version. Okay, if you're going to a 2 version, your APM desktop doesn't work, but still few repos has the 1.x version, which you can still use it up, but it might not support all the drivers that is required. So you need to downgrade your drivers as well. Okay, when I say drivers, the supporting jar files or other things, so you need to have that downgradation. But the latest one is nothing but from your Node.js. So that, okay, I already written it, that's from your npm. So we need to install it, and the command is something like say uh, okay. Okay, so the command will be something like npm install -g apm. Okay, that's it. So this should install your apm. Okay, yeah. But if you want to be more specific on the version, you can give the @ and then give the version 2.x.x. Just I'm giving it as a sample. And on a Mac device, it's totally different. We need to have something called a homebrew and stuff. So I'll explain it to you in context, okay, in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so this is with respect to your iOS. And there is some other thing which you need to know, which is nothing but if you want to interact with your devices, okay, in your Android. So it's going to be ADB commands. So it's quite interesting ADB commands. The ADB sessions will be, because you can without opening your device, you can even install applications. You can reboot your devices. We have a lot of commands available, which I can give it to you, so you can use it up. Okay, and coming to the end of the session. Okay, so this is all I had for today. So this is all we are going to learn actually. So starting from the application, how to automate it, and all those things. I hope you read through the syllabus. We have a lot of syllabus to cover actually. So how does it work and stuff? So let me quickly show it to you. So we have quite a lot of gestures and navigations available, so which you can see it up over here. So we have how to handle the cloud environment, how to check the capabilities, how to handle the gestures, drag and drop, swipe, zoom, drag and drop, like say swipe left and right, double tap, single tap, handle notifications, scrolling, pop up, how to handle the Wi-Fi, how to handle Bluetooth, and some miscellaneous stuffs like say the Bluetooth, get the location and all those things, web view content, and handling the notification again, and handling the Chrome browser, and also some basic things upon how to start and stop your APM without using any external interference from your code itself. So we have a lot of things, and then we have the framework structure as well with the TestNG and your Cucumber. We basically use a POM model, and in TestNG we use a POM model and the data driven model. So all these things we'll be learning into it. So that's all I had for the session actually. So we can have the Q&A. So if any doubts or something you have, you can just ask it now. Yes, just to answer you, Chandra, yeah, we have a data driven BDD hybrid, all these things are done. So database, currently we don't have it actually, because for Mac I cannot install any database, but I can give you the code which works with the Oracle database and SQL. Two codes I have. If you're having a Windows, like we can check it up. Yeah, no issues. In Ubuntu, yes, I think Ubuntu will support it, but let me also double check. Okay, so we can do the execution in Ubuntu, but whether it supports in Ubuntu or not, I will double check it up. But should not be an issue. But yeah. So just before you leave, like say, can I have your name and WhatsApp number with you in the chat, please? Yeah, Fani Kumar, you can ping me as a private message your name and WhatsApp number, so that it'll be helpful for me to send you the documents and other things actually in a WhatsApp before official group chat is available. Yeah, Fani Kumar, yes, we do the Java knowledge as well. Yeah, we have from the starting till the intermediary level. We don't go to the advanced level, but we have till the intermediary level. We have it up. Yes, we teach you that one. Yes, don't worry. Yeah, you need to be in Java. Java, I think, like if you know the OOPS concepts and basics, it should be fine. Actually, we are not going to deep dive into the Java concept. Actually, yeah. Do you give guidance on Python, Cypress as well? Okay. So is it like Python or Cypress? I've not heard about Python with Cypress. So Python works with, Cypress works with JavaScript and TypeScript. But Python and Cypress, I've not heard about it. Cypress I can give, no issues. Yeah. Regarding Selenium, so yeah, Selenium knowledge is not mandatorily required. As you saw in the slide, it's like a little optional only. So you don't need to have the complete knowledge, end-to-end knowledge of Selenium. Still, it's fine. Like we'll be teaching Selenium, little bit of Selenium over here. Don't worry about it. Manual test cases for mobile. Yeah. Yes, yes, Mitra. Like we do teach about, like, say, manual test case to automation. Yes, we do it. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Anisha. Like this course is for Java actually. JavaScript we don't have it yet. Yeah, because the JavaScript is not much in demand with Appium, so that's the reason. So either we okay, nice, good question. The duration of the course. So mostly I give it like say 40 to 45 hours. So that's the duration.
So can you share the slides?
Yeah, sure. I'll WhatsApp you. Yeah. Have you shared your WhatsApp number if you don't mind?
Yeah, I shared with Cypress Automation. Who is that? You only, right? The
Okay, okay.
name, yeah, I shared as a personal.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I'll share it with you. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so if there is no other topics or questions, can we get the recording? Yeah. You will get the recording for all the sessions, yes. But you will get it in a 1 day delay actually. If the session is recorded today, so tomorrow morning you'll be getting it because it's late night now, so people are not around to send it to you. So tomorrow morning, as early as 9 or 10, you should be getting the recordings. Yes, you will be getting for all the sessions. So you need to share your Gmail IDs, I think. So that's how the process goes. And it will be shared as a YouTube, and you can only you can access it up. Yeah. So if any concerns or somethings, like say with the session, with the timing or something, please contact Mr. Kumar. He takes care of it, and this is his number. So just take a snap or note it down somewhere. So anything, like, you can directly reach him out. And thanks all. Like that's all the time we have, and we'll meet again tomorrow. So really appreciate your time and efforts to come up over here. So yeah, meet you all again tomorrow, and until then, have a nice evening and good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arvind, are you there?
Yes, please.